Alright, I know that I am very, very late for saying my thoughts on this movie, but I'm gonna do it anyways. I just watched Top Gun Maverick about an hour or two ago. It took a while to get back to my place, and I've had some time to collect my thoughts. This is not gonna be a review, it's just gonna be like what I thought about the movie. And to be honest with you, going into this movie, I didn't have any expectations. I had recently watched the first Top Gun movie, and I believe I'd give it about an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It was just a fun 80s movie. This movie is amazing. It's like 10 times better than the first Top Gun. The first Top Gun movie is great for what it is, but this second one absolutely craps on the first one. Everything about this movie is great. The soundtrack, first of all, I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks like this, but don't you guys miss when movies had like artists, like really famous artists or musicians or bands do the music for a movie? Because Top Gun Maverick does that. Like One Republic has a song that I had heard a lot before I had seen the movie, and that song was amazing in theaters. It was honestly amazing. I believe Lady Gaga has a song in this movie as well. I believe also Hans Zimmer is scoring this movie, and you feel it every time. Like whenever Hans Zimmer's score kicks in, you instantly are just in the movie. The script-wise, I thought it was very, very good. I don't know who wrote this movie. I really don't know who wrote it, but whoever did it, wrote the script, did an amazing job. The performances are amazing. For me, Miles Teller, I feel like a lot of people have seen this movie, but if you haven't seen the movie, it's spoilers. Miles Teller is Goose's son, right? And obviously we learn that Tom Cruise and Goose have a lot of history, obviously, but they have like very personal history in this movie about how Tom Cruise had to send Rooster back a couple of years because he didn't think he was ready, and also Goose's wife told Pete or Maverick not to send his son to the Navy, something like that. And that was a very... The heart of this movie is definitely Maverick and Rooster's relationship, and how over the period of the movie you really want to see them win. You really want this relationship to work, though the odds of this relationship working are pretty slim. And obviously by the end of the movie it ends up working out, but it's earned. You don't feel like they just say, oh, there you go, these guys are buddies all of a sudden. No, it's earned through trust, and Tom Cruise's character Maverick having to let go of what's been haunting him for almost 40 years. That's really my initial thoughts on Top Gun Maverick. There's a lot of things I'm probably missing out. The fact that they had to use the planes and jets and they were actually in it, and you feel it. And whenever that engine goes off, my theater was rocking every time the jet engine was going off, and you knew you were about to see some crazy visuals. This movie is still making decent amount of money. It hit 1.3, I believe. Probably going to go up even more. There was a decent amount of people in my theater as well, which was pretty surprising. Usually that's not the case when you go to a movie theater. But those are my initial thoughts. I've probably missed a lot of stuff, and maybe I'll do a review, maybe I won't. But Top Gun Maverick you don't need to hear it from me, but it is one of the best movies of the year, and it's personally my favorite movie of the year. A couple of more things. Iceman is in this movie as well, and although you could say in the first Top Gun, Iceman and Tom Cruise's Maverick's relationship is the heart of that movie, and you could say, I wouldn't say Tom or Maverick and Iceman's relationship is the heart of this movie, but I do think Iceman's role in the movie is very pivotal for making Maverick and Rooster's relationship work in the future, or in the final stage of the movie. I think that's the point of that character. I thought that scene with it was fantastic. I thought that Jennifer Connelly and Tom Cruise's rapport with each other during the movie was natural. You didn't feel like it was forced. You actually wanted to see the relationship work. This really messed up relationship that has gone wrong multiple times, time after time. And you genuinely want to see this relationship work. And I think what makes Top Gun Maverick work is that you don't hate any of the characters except like Hangman, but even Hangman by the end of the movie does something that is very redeeming, and you end up not hating him as much. I wouldn't say I liked Hangman in the movie, but I wouldn't say I hated the guy either. But he was probably the only unlikable character, or that general at the beginning of the movie who sends Tom Cruise to Top Gun. But really, everyone in this movie, I don't have any problem with it. Maybe you guys might not like more characters, or you may not like the characters as much as I do, but I really enjoyed every character in this movie. This is a love letter to movie theaters. I think Top Gun saved movie theaters as well. This isn't the only movie theater or the only movie that has saved movie theaters. Spider-Man No Way Home did very well. Multiverse of Madness, Batman did pretty well. All these, Everything Everywhere at Once just hit 100 million. All these movies are bringing people back into cinema. And although I am not a person that is against streaming, I honestly like streaming services. I really do. But there's nothing that beats going to the movie theater. That's a whole different topic in itself that I might do in the future. But what do you think of Top Gun Maverick? Do you think it's the best movie of the year? Do you think it's one of the best movies of the year? Do you like it as much as I do? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments. Those are my thoughts on this movie.